pleasant good morning and welcome to the Prairie View Cricket Complex for Day 2 in Season 2 2025 of the CLPSS League format here in lovely Houston, Texas. This encounter between the Ohio Fighters and Pushpa 11. Ohio Fighters taking first strike. Pushpa 11 with the ball in hand. And see the umpire there just signalling a short run. As you note that had a bit of a delayed start to proceedings in the game itself, as well as the software, some connectivity issues in this part of the world. It's due to some extra environmental factors, sometimes out of the control of the human populace. That's the nature of the game. That's why we love sports and all of its dynamic effects. The end of the fourth over. It's (18) without loss. Ohio Fighters. Batsman at the crease, Amish Patel, as well as Raj Patel. Bowlers thus far for the Pushpa 11. Pratik Patel, 2 overs, none for 5. Tejash Patel, 1 over, none for 5. Pratik had an excellent spell yesterday, picking up 3 wickets in 3 overs. Thought that he would have been able to bowl the 4th, but the team decided to go with the pacer instead. Amish on 12 of 18, 1 for Raj Patel, 4 of 6. No boundaries, both at a strike rate of 66.67. Batsman looking for the quick single. Decided against it due to some good fielding. Pushpa 11 claimed their victory in the final game yesterday in what was a drawn out encounter. Ohio Fighters had a interesting match also. Match came down to the last over and up to the last delivery. Losing out by 1 run in the end. All of these teams, of course, will be vying for that coveted trophy. Swing and a miss. Nice line from Tejash Patel, the left arm seamer. He's getting that ball to zip across body of the right hand batter. And again, in similar fashion, batsman just trying to clear that front leg and go towards the leg side, but the ball is actually traversing across the line of his body, so he might be better encouraged to play through the offside as best as possible. See if he can just open the face of the bat, get his feet closer, and that's better. And that's in fact a lovely shot straight down the ground. Thinking might have the legs to get all the way for 4. Does it? The chest pulls up inside. Yesterday we saw a similar nature in terms of the outfield. Ball appears as if it's speeding towards the boundary and just starts to slow down a bit, around, let's say, a few feet from the boundary rope all along. This one is in the air, and that will go to the boundary for 4. So welcome boundary there, added to the total. Moves up to 26 without loss at the end of 5. And this game, as we note, 16 over affair. Heard some discussions prior to the start that it may be reduced to 14 overs due to the fact that they had a delayed start. But we await confirmation based on the field of play. See the players just having a bit of a drink out there. Almost a chance for a drop catch there, and for the catch to be taken. And yeah, again, and it's down to the fielder. It's straight into his hands, and he's dropped it. Unfortunately, the commentators curse in live action. The reason why I mentioned the first one was close to a drop catch is because yesterday we saw too many catches being dropped from easy positions. And he's bowled him. Gets the just reward for the wicket. Clean them up in and out. Get that ball to skid inwards. Look at this delivery. Just roll his fingers along the ball as well. Could have been one of those slower cutters. Batsman playing a bit too early before the ball reached, and then went inward to clatter into a middle and leg stump. And celebrations are wrong for the fall of that first wicket. 28 for 1. No higher fighters. Abhishek Patel striking. Raj Patel, the batsman, dismissed, and Nikant Patel, or Nilkanth, according to the proper spelling. Now comes to the crease. appeal from the bowler. Not too sure what he was looking for there, what type of dismissal. I don't think the keeper took it cleanly either. Yep. That one seems to be one of the back of the hand cutters. In the air, down to extra cover, and there's a misfield, and it goes for 4. Unfortunate, but welcome for the Ohio fighters. One man's misfortune, and next man's treasure. At the end of 6 overs, 32 for 1 to complete the power play. .35 for 1, 6.3 in the air, and safely one bounce in front of Tejas Patel. In the air, and the catch taken, caught and bowled. Ketan Patel strikes, and a welcome wicket here again for the Pushpa 11. They were very prolific with the ball yesterday. Restricted the Penn State team to 73 all out in 15.5 overs. This is a good start for them as well, picking up these early wickets within the power play and just after. There's some extra bounce on that one from Ketan Patel. And you see, he did well to take the catch actually. He took it mid-air, as in he leaped off the ground. And a bit of a smile on his face there. And we know that sometimes those catches can go the wrong way, as we have seen. Batsman dismissed there was Amish Patel. Went for 22. For 27 deliveries, 2 4s, no 6s. New batsman to the crease. None other than Parth Patel. I've seen a couple of players named Parth Patel. Nice quick single to start. Always love to see when batsmen come to the crease and get going right away. That show of momentum and that indication to score quickly in a sensible manner is always something to take in stride. 37 for 2 at the end of 7. Decent spell here from Abhishek Patel. Not been able to get the ball away freely. Oh, some good dot deliveries. Batsman playing and missing. This time they get a connection. And again, quick running between the wickets to rotate the strike. It's good to see that from Parth Patel and Nilkanth Patel at the crease. Flicked away. There's protection at deep backward square. And he's bowled him. Another one bites the dust. Abhishek Patel strikes again. And a very similar type of dismissal, must be said, to the one previously, where his delivery hit the batsman between that middle and leg stump. So it seems as if he has a liking for that. There's Abhishek Patel. Those deliveries are just cut inward. That's a look at the dismissal. Just tailing into that leg stump. And celebrations around. At the end of 8 overs, 42 for 3. The batsman to the crease, Mital Patel. And new bowler coming into the attack as well. Looks like Lalu Patel. Cut away nicely into the gap. Chase on here for Patek. That's there in the end. It's really well placed. Timely stroke there. Was given the width and took full advantage of it. Or just stood up outside the off stump and allowed it to be swatted away through the offside. Did well to place it in front of the fielder also. Flicked in the air, just shy of the fielder, deep backward square, safely in the end. Oh, an educated edge. Well, seems to be following Patrick Patel anywhere he goes. And they look for the second, and they get it. It's unfortunate there. Can't really blame the fielder because it was a good return, a direct hit in fact, onto the stumps. And the fact that it hit the stumps, the batsman were already in the crease. They decided to go through for that extra single. 9 overs, at the end of it, 52 for 3. And back with the action here. It's a good start thus far for Pushpa 11, Ohio Fighters 52 for 3, 9.1 overs. The projected score at this stage 114, current run rate of 5.7. And let's flick down the leg side. There's no protection in that fine leg area, and the fielder backward square is unable to come around in time to retrieve it before it goes into the boundary ropes. Another 4 added to the total. Ohio Fighters need some more of these as they look to set a competitive total for the Pushpa 11 to chase. Not the best line delivery, tipping full toss on the leg stump line of the body, so allow the batsman to just swivel and flick of the wrist down to the backward square region for 4. And again with that leg side line, see an appeal from the bowler, wicketkeeper also with hands raised asking the question, but did not really see any indication for an appeal there. Umpire signaled wide, was undisturbed by the fielding sides. That's again another smart single. Spares done well at the crease. Mital Patel and Nilkanth Patel seem to have a good understanding and running between the wickets. Abhishek Patel pick up the bowlers thus far, 2 for 15 in his third over. It's driven into the offside. Could have possibly pushed for 2, but decided that a single is safer in the end. And similar type of stroke. I think they should be looking for 2 here, and in fact they are, because it It's certainly wider than the previous delivery. The field that long off had to go around to his left, to our right of screen, to retrieve that one. The batsman just having a brief chat, and it's another short run being signaled. So saw one in the first over, seen one in the second half of the innings, as we are in the 10th over. It's not intentional, of course. Oh, that's a lovely looking shot. Really quick hands and bat speed, as this one will also run into the boundary just past the scoring container there for 4. Nice looking stroke from the batter. Took full advantage of the leg side line. Abhishek Patel straying a bit in that over. First over was very accurate and economical, and you see there that delivery pitched past the leg stump. It's never easy to get those deliveries away to the boundary, but did very well in the end. So that completes the 10th over. It's 64 for 3. Tejas Patel. Oh, and an unfortunate misfield through the legs. Allows the batsman to capitalize on any run scoring opportunity. Dealing in singles thus far. Nilkant Patel up to 20 off 16. Mital Patel 11 off 6. 1 or 2 out boundaries in between helped them get above that strike rate of 100. Oh, what I appreciate about the intent of the batsmen is that they are trying to score off of every delivery, and even if it's not a boundary scoring opportunity, they are trying to rotate the strike, pick up the 1s and 2s for some errors in the fielding team. Should be like by, unless he got some bat onto that. Umpire seems to think that he did. So there's no signal, and you see the bowler is asking, and he's now signaling leg by. So usually the umpire has to use his discretion to determine, but in this instance the umpire just confirmed with the batter, given the bowler's question. It's a sort of league where we've seen instances of some good sportsmanship on display.
Do not leave the
Pratik Patel continues into the attack in his third over, very economical as always. Only conceding 8 runs thus far in his 2.3 overs. This one is belted through the offside just for a single. Nice looking stroke. Maybe if you placed it a bit wide off the fielders, you would have been able to get some more runs from that delivery. This is flicked down the leg side. Should be able to pick up a couple. Decide on just one. This is played nicely through the offside all along the carpet. Lush green outfield here at the Prairie View Cricket Complex. Brilliant day for cricket also. Nice weather, sun is out, blue skies. The players are all here for a good time. For 3 at the end of 12. Played nicely through the offside and gets it wide enough of the fielder, deep cover for a boundary. Signaling the intent as they push forward for these remaining couple of overs. Again, should be a 16 over affair, but there was mention of the overs being reduced to 14 due to a delayed start. Yeah, low full toss. Carved the way through the offside. In the air this time, down to long on. And again, we see the fielders going around the ball sometimes rather going towards it. Often for preventing further runs being scored rather than trying to take the wicket. And that's a nice looking stroke. This one should get close to the boundary. It does, but a brilliant stop, one-handed pickup and return to the crease. Excellent work there in the outfield. That is fielding effort. And this should run away for 4. And it does. That part of the field is the quickest area as it's going downhill. A bit of a slope there. And batsman take full advantage of it. Again, just angling into the legs. Nice pivot and turn. Pulled it down to that fine leg region for 4. Fended into the offside. And smart running. Again allows them to come through for a single as they keep the scoreboard ticking. So it moves up to 93 for 3 now at the end of 13. Ghanshyam Patel into the attack. Previously had 1 over for 10 runs. Not the best start. And this what could very well be the final over if it is reduced to the 14 over affair, or alternatively could be just the 14 over if they are proceeding with the 16 overs. You'll get confirmation at the end of this over in terms of how this innings is going to proceed. Down to the long off area, and it's through the hands of the fielder, goes into the boundary ropes for 4. For a moment it thought it was going to be taken, but through the hands. This time the catch is taken. Goes into the offside, and the catch taken there comfortably. So that was the previous one that was dropped. And here we have the dismissal. misconnected through the offside. A good catch taken there from backward point running in. At the end of 14 overs, it's 100 for 4. Appears as if they will be playing the full 16. It seems so. So despite having a delayed start, it does not seem to affect their schedule, and they are going ahead as they have planned. New batter to the crease, Vineet Patel. Tejas Patel has the ball in hand. Looks as if he will be proceeding with this penultimate over. And beats the stumps, beats the batter, beats the keeper, beats everything. It's now being retrieved as they get 2 welcome byes added to the total. One of those deliveries that no one had an answer for. Nilkanth Patel on 45 off 32. Five fours. This is hoisted into the leg side, all the way down to the fielder, and he took the catch, but it went over the road for 6. My word, what a valiant attempt, and look at the frustration. One-handed catch, and just the momentum took him beyond the boundary rope. We really still have to applaud him for that effort. Yeah, look at that left-handed take, and he's over the ropes cleanly. This one is flicked into the leg side. They pick up a couple. Look at this reaction. Signal the 6. Frustration. By all means, can be proud of your attempt still. Nilkanth Patel getting his 50 with that boundary, and another delivery that beats the batter, the stumps, and this time the keeper holds on, so there will be no byes. And commendations to Nilkanth getting to his half century with that fortuitous 6. Could have been dismissed alternatively, but got the better of it in the end. And that's a tough throw for the fielder going to the bowler's end to retrieve the ball, and they take another run via the overthrow method. Just awaiting the electronic scorecard to update. The score should be 112 for 4 at the end of 15. In fact, 111 for 4. So 15 overs completed, 1 over remaining in this first innings for the Ohio Fighters. The Pushpa 11 will try to restrict them to under 120. One would assume that should be a reasonable total. Mentioned that anything over 100 is a good benchmark for teams to have in this tournament. Of course, 16 over affairs, 96 illegal deliveries in any innings. This is in the air, chance for another wicket. Wicketkeeper calls, the bowler calls also, and the bowler takes it. Lalu Patel takes the catch. And another one bites the dust here in field 5 at the Prairie View Cricket Complex. Nice flight from the bowler. And Ghanshyam Patel, also known as Lalu, is the man who strikes. That's a nice action, does Ghanshyam. And you can see that flight deceiving the batter. Try to hoist it toward the leg side. Huge top edge, skied into the air. The keeper normally you would think should be the one taking the catch, as he has the added protection of the wicket-keeping gloves in his hand, but the bowler wanted that one. Ghanshyam said, "Leave it to me and I will take care of it." So another wicket falls. 111 for 5. 5 legal deliveries remaining in this over. All to play for here in the Charotaria Luiva Patidar Seva Samaj Premier League Season 2 2025. Nice flight again from Ghanshyam. Delivery seems to be coming full to the batter, but just dips at that last moment. Release it above the eye line. This one is flatter. It's worked into the offside for a quick single. It's been a brilliant final over thus far. Picked up a wicket. Only conceded 1 run. Goli Patel was the new batter that came to the crease. Backing across on his final delivery. Chance for the run out. Direct hit. And think he's safely inside. And he is. So that brings us to the final 2 deliveries, legal deliveries at that, of this first innings. Ohio Fighters 113 for 5. They would love to get a boundary at this stage. And just can't seem to get it off the square. The lack of pace from these deliveries that Ghanshyam is producing, really forcing the batters to try to make something out of nothing. When you're in the last over and you just want to swing for the hills, it's difficult to take advantage of this type of bowling. And kudos to Lalu, as he's known. Final delivery, swatted into the offside, and they should get a safe Single they do. We're looking for the second, but rightfully decided against it and took the single as the safer option. So that completes the first innings in this encounter between the Ohio Fighters and Pushpa 11. Ohio Fighters end on 115 for 5, which means that Pushpa 11, they will require 116 when they take their turn at their crease. Stay tuned, now we'll be back in just a few minutes. Well, welcome back here to this lovely Prairie View Cricket Complex, and we see some of the supporters and other players in the midst just preparing for the encounters, as we have a schedule of 3 games at one of the groups, 2 games in the other group. In fact, 7 games total today, so another long day of cricket here at this lovely venue. Kudos to our cameraman Matthew Rajaram, expertise as always. And now we go back live to the action. Flicked away stylishly for 4. And Pushpa 11 off to a really nice start here. Explosive innings on the way. This is exactly what they need if they have to get to that total of 116 for victory. At the end of 2 overs, it's 19 for 1, so scoring just under a run rate of 10 per over, and that's what the doctor ordered. Thus far, Path Patel 1 over 1 wicket, 5 runs. Harshal Patel 1 over for 14 runs. 2 overs that have gone by. Parth Patel continues. Swatted down the ground for a single. Just need to play smart cricket here. The Pushpa 11. Just need to rotate the strike, look for the boundary scoring opportunities in between. Equation is nothing out of their reach. Just above a run a ball. Required run rate at the start of this over was 6.93. So if they can get 6 singles or boundary in between, 5 singles and a 2, several equations that can assist with the overall target. Good work there from fielder. Accurate throw to prevent them from returning. Advancing down the wicket, not necessarily chipping down the crease, but just a couple of footsteps coming forward. Let's try to meet the ball at a fuller length. In the air, and it's down to the fielder at long off, and an excellent catch taken, and rightfully so. He celebrates Nilkanth Patel, half century in the first innings, and a wonderful catch here in the second. Take a bow, Nilkanth. That's what your team needs. The Ohio Fighters fighting back in this one as they claim another wicket off the Pushpa 11. Look at this. Delivery was in the slot, you would say, with some pace taken off of it, and it was angling in toward the pads, and look at that. Catch taken low down. Ensure that when his elbow touched the ground, the ball did not come out. Held the ball for entirety of the way and then released it in celebration. Great work there from Nilkanth. And the Pushpa 11 lose their second wicket at the end of 3. It's 23 for 2. Cut away through the offside. Just guided down to that third man area. Was single. Nice full of length delivery that time. It's up into the block hole. (26 for 2). 2 legal deliveries left in this over. Mital Patel doing well in his first over. Path Patel pick off the bowlers thus far. 2 overs, 2 wickets for 9. Side misfield there. Might be Goli Patel out in the offside. Goli, who produced a hat-trick yesterday. That's a beautiful delivery. Appeal for caught behind, and the finger is raised. He strikes. Mital Patel. Wonderful delivery. Beating the batsman. All ends up. That one just tailed inward and took inside edge through to the wicket keeper. Excellent catch also. And a thin edge, no visible deviation, but he was certainly convinced, and even the batter turned and started to walk towards that direction. Wicketkeeper doing good work there also. Kabu diving low to the ground and completing the catch. And Mital strikes. So the Ohio fighters are certainly putting up the resistance here. 27 for 2 for 3 now after 4. So Chirag Patel is the bowler into the attack, and decent enough start. A bit of a misfield there. The wicketkeeper not too pleased. Parth Patel with 2 wickets, Mital Patel with 1. The strike bowlers thus far. And that's a Yorker length delivery. A very excited appeal. Umpire again unfazed, indicating that it possibly was going down leg. Struck him full and was in line with the leg stump, but maybe just going down, giving the batsman the benefit of the doubt. And that's the end of the 5th over. 34 for 3. They require 82 runs in 66 legal deliveries with 7 wickets in hand. Required run rate of 7.43. Kohli Patel, a man with the golden arm yesterday, into the attack. Tapped into the offside. Quick single taken, and they get there in the end. Looking for the overthrow, and good backing up by the fielder at long on. And Kohli Patel yesterday, as we mentioned in the first innings, when he came out with the bat in hand, he picked up a hat-trick, and he'll be looking to repeat that feat today once possible. And it's those type of deliveries that brought in the wickets. As you could see for yourself, that one was cut uppishly and just short of the fielder, but goes to show you that when he takes all the pace off of the deliveries and flights, batsmen have some difficulty. I also mentioned yesterday that we like the angle of the style of delivery coming through and around the wicket. Most times you see bowlers these days stay with the usual around the wicket or over the wicket. Through and around just gives you that bit of extra angle. One might think it's the same as in just coming around the wicket, but the difference is that when you run through and around, one, you present a different view to the batter in terms of the run-up itself is something that the batter has to take note of, as that is flighted nicely from goalie. Completes the 6th over and the end of the power play. 37 for 3. And as mentioned, it's a situation where coming through and around the wicket, you tend to get that delivery arm coming wider across your body. So sometimes the angle and the drift of the ball would be more pronounced and more deliberate than simply just coming around the wicket at that angle, because of the momentum as well with the delivery stride. Going through and around gives you that sort of added impetus that when you arrive at the crease, sometimes your delivery position is in fact either close to the umpire, in the middle of the umpire and the wide crease, or sometimes even go further beyond and deliver as close to the wide line as possible. And again, all depends on how that delivery arm comes across your body to produce those deliveries that will get some extra purchase either off of the surface, off of the seam, and depending on the way that the spinner grips the ball. You know that each bowler has a unique way that they hold the seam, sometimes in a cross seam position, sometimes the finger, index finger and middle finger, the ball is in between those, where you try to get those revolutions and rotations on the ball for it to spin. So many factors to consider in this lovely game of cricket. 37 for 3, 10 overs remain, 79 needed. And here we see an interesting angle from Ravi Patel, who's coming to the attack around the wicket, the right hand off spinner to the right hander. I myself have used this angle in previous games where it presents an added benefit to the bowler if he's bowling with a certain plan in mind. And that's one of the factors to consider when you're coming around the wicket to the right hand and bowling your off spin. Unless you're a huge turn off the ball is just going to continue with the natural angle going away from the right hander. So many times they will be looking to play those square cut type shots, or sometimes even just opening the face and trying to dab it down to that short third area between backward point. And again, right on cue. So what's a advisable field placement for a bowler of this type of nature is to have protection at deep cover but not too straight, and also if possible a deep backward point. And you still need to strengthen inside the 30-yard circle to prevent any easy singles therein. When you bowl like that on the wicket itself with flight, it allows them to hit the ball in the air, and they have to go against the nature of the ball in terms of the ball is going across and they are hitting in the opposite direction. Perfect example there of not getting a hold of it and almost presented an opportunity for a drop catch. Now Ravi is staying around the wicket. I think he just needs to be consistent with his line and length. Hasn't been a bad over thus far, just to produce that doubt in the mind of the batters. And that's too wide. Also a risk of going past that wide line if you try to force the batsman full and wide outside the off stump. Because the ball is continuing in that direction, even if you pitch inside, it can end up past. And that's a very good angle. That's exactly where you need to be. Start the delivery on or around that middle and off stump line and just get it going to that fourth or fifth stump, not even the fifth, but I would say fourth stump ideally, so they don't have enough room to cut and they have to make room. And again on the fourth stump, you just waited on that one and pushed it through the covers. But also I think the field placement there, that fielder could have been a bit wider to his left. Again, just anticipating the angle of the shots coming naturally with the ball going towards the offside rather than the leg side. Good delivery. Tempted him for the cut shot. He had to go somewhere across. Feet were in no man's land and playing a miss in the end. And that's the end of 7. It's 45 for 3. 71 needed in 54 deliveries, 7 wickets remain. Cut away again, and this time gets it past backward point, close to the boundary, and a good stop there. Excellent work in the outfield. Certainly prevented a boundary and saved this team a couple of runs. Oh, and a chance for the return catch. A bit too powerful. Goalie did well to prevent it, because if it went through his hands, could have gone for 4. Look at that, straight into his hands. One of those catches that need to stick. Flight again, and batsman also tried to heave that to the leg side, but nearly pummeled over. This one goes through the batsman. Not seen a signal from the umpire. Possibly got it on the edge of the bat. One of the substitute fielders around the boundary with the cooler of refreshments. It's a bit warm out there, so making sure that the players are hydrated properly and doing the best that they can to try and get a victory in this game. 51 for 3 after 8. In the air, and goes all the way for 6. No chance for the catch there. Too full from Ravi. And a nice looking stroke. Pushpa 11 need some more of these boundaries if they are to get up towards that total. Ghanshyam Patel and Nikunj Patel at the crease. Ghanshyam also with Lalu on the back of his jersey, number 31, 24-21, and a very good spell with ball in hand. So he's doing a good all-round job for his team here. The other batters just seem to be struggling a bit. Nikunj 8 of 10, just under run a ball. And swing and a miss. They just have to be a bit patient. Wait on the delivery. Good work there from the fielder. Nice to see that underarm flick being used. Modern cricket. Rarely see that. Sometimes fielders even close in on the 30-yard circle, they pick up the ball and they release with a powerful throw. Nine overs completed, 59 for 3. Down the leg side. Keeper did not take it cleanly. And again you see the experience of Goli Patel coming to the fore. Just taking the pace off of the ball and making it so difficult for the batters. That one was pushed through and easy to just guide it along. They look for the quick single. Did he reach back in time? No, he didn't. He's run out. Interesting. I don't think the single is on there because he hit it straight to the fielder. Good throw. And yeah, he's short of his crease. It worked from the keeper as well. The throw was low down, so he picked it up cleanly and managed to just clip the bails. So another one falls for the Pushpa 11. 62 for 3 now. 62 for 4, that would be including this wicket. Goli Patel continuing. So just paid off into the offside. Tucked into the leg side. Single. At the end of 10 overs, it's 64 for 4, 52 needed in 36 deliveries, 6 wickets in hand, required run rate of 8.6. Flight to delivery up in the air. Chance for the catch to be taken. And it's taken down at long on. Good work there again from Nilkanth. That delivery was flighted. And the batsman miscued. Pushpa 11 struggling now. You see there, look at that flight. That was the delivery before. This would be the wicket taking delivery from Vinit Patel. Flight again. Batter to the crease is Hemin Patel. That should be a wide delivery. Some good bowling here from Vinit Patel. Always a pleasure to see a right arm wrist spinner into the attack. Cut into the air. Down to the fielder, deep cover. Pick up one and they come back for a couple. And that completes the end of the 11th over. 66 for 5. 50 needed in 5 overs. Misfeed initially, and then good recovery work from the fielder supporting. And asking the question for the runner, I think the throw actually hit the wicketkeeper and rebounded onto the stump, so not being considered there. Cut away nicely, past the man at backward point, should get one and come back for 2. And they need to get some boundaries, you would think. in the air, played through the offside, and that one goes for 4. Tried to stop it with his foot, but unable to get it behind the ropes, and a welcome boundary added to the total for Pushpa 11. 74 for 5 now in 11.5, 42 needed and 25 deliveries. Should look for a single there, and the misfield would allow them to get it easily. Initially it didn't seem as if they wanted to get there. The overthrow is possible, but they decide against it. 75 for 5 at the end of 12. Cut away into the offside. Feel that deep extra cover comes around. A single added to the score. And they need to get 1 or 2 boundaries just to make this run chase a bit easier. 37 now required in 23 legal deliveries, 5 wickets in hand. Want to bring that closer to a runner ball. This is up in the air. The fielder at long off didn't decide to go forward for the catch. Path Patel decided to just hang back. Single is fine. Now high fighters would be content if they just get singles, but at the same time you don't want to let them score too easily so that they can build momentum. Nicely flighted delivery. It's in the air, and again will land safely. And again they only take 1 run. You wonder sometimes if they should try and push for the second, at least put some pressure on the fielders and make it easier for them in the grand scheme of run scoring. Nonetheless, they're still out there trying to fight this game to the end. The Pushpa 11. And he's played on. The leg spinner strikes. Always there's some sort of mystery element when a right arm wrist spinner comes to the bowling crease. And these unfortunate situations happen when you least expect. Ball was there to be cut. through the offside. You can see from where it pitched just outside the off stump, turning away, and just took the bottom edge of the bat onto the off stump. Look of despair on the batsman's face as he saw the bails come off. But a very important breakthrough again for the Ohio Fighters. The Pushpa 11 now. They are 83 for 6 in 13 overs. 33 needed in 3 overs. 18 legal deliveries, 4 wickets in hand. Look for the second, and they should get it, and I think he's going to be run out. Yes, he is. Based on when the throw came in to the wicketkeeper. If he played out into the leg side. And went for the first one, and here you see the hesitation. If he didn't stop, and also if he didn't run into the pathway, might have been able, but stumps disturbed before he could have even grounded his bat. And it's another wicket down from the Pushpa 11. 83 for 7 now. 84 for 7 because they would get the first run from that run out. In the air, over the head of the fielder at backward square. And looking for the second again, decides against it. .29 needed in 2.3. 87 for 7. It's driven nicely through the covers. Swatted away. On to long on for a single. All to play for here now. Pratik Patel has a job to do for his team. Tushar Patel. Son splices off the outer edge. And Keane does not get to the boundary rope. Holds up just before. And they get 2 runs to complete that over. 14 gone. It's 90 for 7. 26 needed in 12 deliveries. Pratik Patel and Tushar Patel at the crease. Path Patel 3 overs, 2 wickets for 16. Vineet Patel 2 overs, 2 wickets for 10. These are the guys who they'll be looking to finish this out. I'm sure we might see Vineet continuing, or is it going to be a bowling change? I think they should give Vineet a next over based on what he's produced. By all means, he's done really well. However, they've opted to go with Mital Patel instead. 2 overs, 1 for 13. Another one of the wicket takers. And initially looked as if he was going to peel for leg before, but I think he realized that one was certainly tailing down leg. This is high and handsome. Will it go all the way? And it does. Pratik Patel with a wonderful strike for 6. That one almost went completely out of the ground. Really good shot there from the all-rounder. You know what he's capable of with the ball in hand. The left-arm orthodox veteran. And now with bat in hand, we are seeing some of his power-hitting prowess. In fact, it did go out of the ground. They had to exit the fencing to retrieve it. And that's tailing into his legs. 100 being raised with that leg by. 100 for 7. 16 needed. And this goes into the offside, down to the fielder. They get one. They should push for 2. And they get there comfortably in the end. And this is what you need to see from beginning of the innings and from the earlier stages. Don't wait until the final over to now try and get singles and twos when they were on offer all the time before. Nonetheless, it's 1 or 2 for 7 at the end of 15. 14 runs required for victory in the final over. Spliced off the outside edge. They was looking for the single but decides against it. I think Pratik knows that he has to maintain the strike here, and he has to be the one to bring it home for his team with his power hitting abilities. And Pratik gets this one high and handsome into the air. And the catch is taken. Wicket down. Wonder if that might be all that she wrote for the Pushpa 11. Still 14 required and 4 legal deliveries. This is into the offside. They get one, they come back for 2. And does not get us one off the square. 11 needed and 2 legal deliveries. This is in the air, down the ground, and only a single, which means that 10 will be required of this final legal delivery. All he has to do here is to put the ball on the wicket, no extras, and victory will be in the hands of the Ohio Fighters. And rightfully so. It's a really good last over here from Parth Patel, the man to finish it off. 3 wickets for Parth Patel at the end of this game. The Pushpa 11 finish on 107 for 8. The Ohio Fighters top scorers: Amish Patel 22, Nilkanth Patel 56. Pick up the bowlers there: Abhishek Patel 2 for 22, Ghanshyam Patel 2 for 21. The Pushpa 11 in response, top score of 25 from Ghanshyam Patel, and Sahil Patel made 18. Pick up the bowlers for the Ohio Fighters: Parth Patel, the captain, 3 wickets for 21 in his 4 overs, really excellent spell, and Vinny Patel 2 wickets for 10 runs in his 2 overs. So that's it here. The Ohio Fighters have won by 8 runs in this encounter, and they will certainly relish that victory as they look forward to the rest of games. So that's it for this encounter. Stay tuned as we bring you the second game in round 2 of the matches, which comes up at on around 12:45 to 1 p.m. thereabouts.